I want you to think of a time when you did something you absolutely loved to do. Something that made you feel light, energized. Time literally felt like it stood still. You couldn't believe how much time had passed when you finally decided to resurface. Hold that. Feel it. I was that person for so many years that was drawn to art, to painting, but I didn't give myself the chance to even try. I was too self-conscious and stuck in this idea of, I'm not an artist, I can't do that. Yet going to art stores was my happy place. My kid in the candy store sensation, scrolling through paintings, picking them apart, and trying to understand them. Every time I'd pass that paint easel, I'd say, one day when I'm not so busy, one day when I can take a class, one day when I have the money. But really, I was just scared to try. When I finally committed to just trying, I was so shocked to discover how time melted away. I felt this freedom, so pure I can only describe as play. Painting became less about the finished product and more about discovering what I could do with it. If I liked the finished product, that was a bonus. If I didn't, well, at least I developed a set of skills and lessons that I learned from. My message is simple. Do the things that scare you. Just start. You don't even need to know what to do right away. Just take one small step. Your capacity for joy is amazing when you can just let go. This right here was my scariest and biggest project yet. 10 by 7 foot canvas. Talk about a white page of paralyzation. Where do I start? It was an opportunity that came up unexpectedly on a visit to my mom's. She had imagined a birch tree mural based on one of my early paintings. Then she changed her mind because she worried it would be lifeless and dark. My mom craves color. I showed her how I could adapt my painting to be the burst of color she imagined. Looking back, I swear, I was almost challenging her to have the audacity to give me free range of her wall. Because the next thing I knew, I was buying paints, brushes, and building a makeshift landing to support the ladder I would need to reach those 10-foot high ceilings. I will openly admit this now, I had zero idea of what I was doing. Zero. I was running on my love of painting, my commitment to figure it out, and a 3-day timeline because I was leaving for home soon. What pushed me to take the leap? What pushed me to take on this so scary thing? It was the look on my mom's face. There was this look of wonder. It's that face that children get and give their parents that makes it impossible for you to say no. Somehow, by saying yes and making the impossible possible, you preserve that magic and make wishes come true. My mom's been sick for over 2 years now. No one has a name for what she has, but the pain, it can be unbearable, debilitating. She's learning and relearning how to manage the pain, the countless tests, doctor's visits, no answers. But anyone that knows my mom knows she is savagely stoic and rebellious. To see her in this state breaks my heart. But this is such a big project, my biggest canvas yet. I had a choice. Do I step up and choose to try and possibly fail in the directions of my secret dreams? So secret I couldn't even admit them to myself. Or do I shrink back and give myself a great excuse to validate my insecurities? I don't have experience. I'm leaving for home soon. No, there's not enough time. I don't have proper scaffolding, obviously. I mean, we are on stairs, and I can continue on my path. The path of what I know, where I'm comfortable, and where I feel safe. Start to finish, this mural took me over 23 hours, 3 days late into the night, 4 audiobooks, and at least 13 podcasts, and maybe 3 or more hours of off-key singing deep into the work of inspiration and feeling into that process. I was learning as I went. There were moments I just wanted to cry because it wasn't turning out how I expected. I was on the verge of wanting to throw a bucket of paint over the whole thing. But ironically, these moments were equally measured with joyful tears of disbelief that I was doing this at all. I have to tell you, because the whole time I kept having to silence the nagging negativity, the incessant doubt, the impending embarrassment. What was I thinking? This is too big. You have no idea what you're doing. This looks so stupid. Who do you think you are? People are gonna laugh. You've never done this before. On and on and on it went. Despite the non-stop dialogue, I did it anyways. And somehow it came together. I just didn't listen. I kept working. We all have that voice that tears us down, that stops us. What could you do if you just didn't listen? Who could you meet? Where could you go? Who could you be? This was a big lesson for me in learning to trust myself a little more, and that big scary things can be done one stroke at a time. A quote that I keep posted by my desk as a reminder. One can choose to go back towards safety or forward towards growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. By Abraham Maslow. You will always have things that make you feel like you're just not ready. You're never gonna feel ready, but you need to start anyways. Sometimes we see people that smile and appear confident, but it doesn't mean that it's easy or that they know what they're doing. It means they're trying and willing to fail and learn and try again. So get out there and do something that scares you and start before you're ready.
Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Is there a story you'd love to hear about? I hope that you do something today that scares you.